Hi there. Welcome on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, folks, welcome back. I want to jump right into a topic today, and that is, with this New Year's resolution situation that comes up every year as we head towards 2025, what's a gift that we can give not only to our organizations and our teams, but to the culture at large as humans on Earth, right? And so let's just touch upon some simple gifts. First of all, what do you want for your organization or your teams or the broader culture going into 2025? I think we could all agree that we want a little more unity of purpose, right? We all want better, more thriving, fulfilling lives from the broad strokes of things. But as we drill into that, into the layers, as we often do, we get into a little more of the substance of perhaps what can we do or our approach to how we can be better about unifying our purpose. One of those, obviously, is communication. Now, we hear about it because we do talk about it often, not just here, but all over in different formats and settings. But communication, as we know, is so important. But one of the things I want visually for you to see is cooperation over controversy. And what do I mean by that? Imagine two saws, spinning blades, okay? One is cooperation. It spins with the blade. It makes a nice cut. It allows us to cut, say, wood in the shape that we want, right? It gives us the definition and the outcome that we're desiring. The other saw blade, and that would be cooperation. Controversy, on the other end of the spectrum, is a saw blade spinning backwards. It's getting stuck, it's ripping, it's tearing, it's giving us far less definition, way more confusion, causing all kinds of problems, and it's just not a good result. Visually understand two of those saw blades spinning in opposite directions. Controversy is exactly opposite of cooperation. So, with our communication, we want to be in a trajectory of cooperation. So, that's kind of a first step there. The other thing we need to think about is there's a difference between supporting, right, and enabling. So, supporting obviously is doing what we need to do in that trajectory of cooperation. But enabling would be the yes person, right? Can we do this? Yes, we can, right? They don't even assess. They just want to say yes because they want the leader or the whoever, supervisor, whatever it might be. They want to just please. Well, it's fine to want to be able to please people on your team with what you're doing. No doubt about that. That's a good thing. And it's not to say we don't want to say yes when we can do a thing or if something is possible. But what happens is we become enablers if there is a situation that isn't in alignment and we're not helping the situation. So what are we doing? We're enabling and potentially putting ourselves, further behind if we aren't 100% certain that we can do a particular thing. This is why we need to be clear, right? There needs to be transparency. There needs to be clarity. And as leaders, we have to have some thick skin. You need to be able to be brave enough to step forward and ask the questions, the important, specific questions, and ask for honest, truthful feedback. Because your team might be a little bit, I won't say intimidated, but they may feel like they're letting you down if they don't just say, yes, I can do a thing all the time, every time. Of course, you don't want them telling you no because they don't want to do a thing. It's not about the doing or the desire. It's about can we? Can we do this thing? Is this thing possible? If it isn't, let's figure out why it isn't and let's work on that, right? Be constructive. Have a cooperative, constructive back and forth. But what can happen is that people become enablers to that leader. And then that leader feels like potentially they're let down. And now this is a slippery slope because this is where favoritism can come in. Sometimes those who always say yes become the go-to person and potentially kind of that favorite, right? It sounds silly, but it happens. Sadly, we haven't leapt too far forward from high school in the organizational world. And we have to do that. We've got to leap forward into our adulthood now and be thick skinned enough to expect that not everything we surmise or come up with or ask for is always going to be on target or achievable. Now, that being said, the next step is to cooperate to overcome those, what the constraints are, what are the obstructions to us being able to do a thing, and then work toward progressing to see if we can achieve that. And and some organizations can get into this and they do this back and forth, and that's great. But not every team member on your team is going to be, you're going to probably have a couple folks who always speak up and give you the give you the exacting information. Hey, we got about 75% of a solution, but we're not quite there on 90 to 100. And then they can break it down. But you might have other team members that don't feel like that they can do the same thing. So you need to make sure that your team is comfortable, that they feel like that their voice is being heard. So this is another element of communication, that you're opening the floor and inviting critical, productive, constructive feedback. It doesn't matter who you are on the team. It doesn't matter where you are in the organization. Okay, so the other thing, and I don't want this video to get too long, I just want to keep it a little short and sweet, because just like a gift, it should be something we can hang on to, something we can use, but also something we can appreciate without overburdening us. So with this gift, I'm going to keep this video short. That's my gift to you. Okay. But so to say a thing or to communicate with anyone in your team, no matter who you are, is what I'm saying truthful? Right? Is it accurate? Right? Is it helpful? Is it helping the situation? Is it helping us to get where we need to go? Because if it's not helpful, right, why am I saying it? If it's not truthful, if it's not helpful, we need to think as we're coming up with, some things are coming to mind. Hey, is this helpful? Right? Is it truthful? And then the next, is it hurtful? Because we can fall into a lot of traps if a lot of these areas aren't, if we don't meet all of these areas. If it's not being helpful, then why am I offering it up? If it's not truthful, then why am I saying it? Right? This might be truthful about a situation, a condition, right? And there's a myriad of organizations. It could be a situation with a chain of events, chain of custody, mechanical failures, product situation, engineering situations, so many scenarios we could never fully outline or even touch upon adequately in a short video. But the situation is be truthful, because if you're not being truthful, then we're not helping the situation. Are we being helpful? Is what I'm offering, is it going to help somebody solve a problem, or is it going to help to fill in a gap or to take care of something or move the ball forward? Is it going to help my teammate, right? Is it going to help my team? Okay. Is it going to help my leader? And then don't withhold that helpfulness either. So you might have a helpful idea or solution. Don't withhold that. A vital part of communication is not withholding valuable, potentially, gold opportunities to solve problems and to innovate and to create new products or, workarounds, solutions, and so forth, permanent or short term. So withholding is not a good thing, right? That's not being cooperative. That's really, it's a silent controversy underneath all of the waves of that. And then next, as we touched on, is hurtful. We don't want things to be hurtful. It could be true, right? It could be helpful. But if I'm being hurtful about it, if I'm being accusatory, if I'm being, if I'm being basically creating more drama and toxicity just to bring something up, or presenting it in a way that makes or belittles somebody else, or is dismissive of others, or somehow makes them look less than, I'm essentially being passive or somewhat aggressive about, who that person is. It's really an unhealthy, you're creating, it's definitely not cooperation. That's more controversy. So if it's hurtful, think about how you're presenting something, because contentiousness can be born. It doesn't matter if we're talking about organizations, the culture at large, it could be friends, it could be your family, whatever. There isn't a need to be contentious. It's okay to be a good human, to be kind, and have kind of a gentle flow to your execution of how you do things without striking out unnecessarily. You might feel bad about a thing, but it never helps the situation to make somebody else feel bad because you feel bad, because then it becomes a war. It becomes this back and forth contentiousness where it's divisive, and it becomes toxic and dramatic, and it becomes, and what it is it's superficiality is what it is. Folks aren't regarding the depths of the human situation, right? We're not seeing another person as a person, a feeling person like ourselves. So we don't fall into these traps of being hurtful and dramatic and having contentiousness, because we have to realize the world does not revolve around us individually. We are all sharing this planet. We're all sharing, our cultures. We're all sharing organizations. We're all in, everything is sharing, whether you want to believe it or not. There are a myriad of resources that you consume on a daily basis that if other folks aren't sharing their energy and purpose to create these things, our lives aren't moving forward. We're stuck in the mud. We're thousands of years behind. And we've made quite a stride forward in the many, many, many thousands of years of, human development. So for us to continue on, and as we leap into, as we come alive in 2025, what we need to realize is we need to let go of the rope of divisiveness, let go of the rope of, where when we're in controversy, and grab onto cooperation, grab onto being supportive, being truthful, avoiding hurting other folks, even by accident. Be a little more gentle about our approach, because there's nothing. I don't care how fast you think you can move. If you communicate poorly, you have absolutely set your team backwards. And there's so many leaders who have followed in the traditions of the past leaders and brought so many of the bad habits along with them, and they've failed to evolve forward. And this is everyone, all of us, right? It's the 80-20 rule. You might think you have it all figured out, but you can be pretty sure you've only got 80% on your best day as far as you've ever progressed in your career. There's 20% out there that you're not taking advantage of, and you're probably allowing some of these toxic behaviors and poor communication trends to occur in your organization. So reverse that trend. Give a gift to your team. Give a gift to yourself. If you're team members, give a gift to your leaders and your organization. Why is this? Because our customers will ultimately receive that gift. And when our customers are served, that is us hitting that good domino 3 to 5 times a day or more to uplift, motivate, inspire, and encourage other folks. And when we do that, not only for our customers, for our product and service, but in those people in our lives, we're also encouraging and growing and transforming culture, not only for our organizations, but the broader culture. And that's very important. So just wanted to touch on a little bit today about, giving a gift in 2025 to unify our purpose, right? And come alive in 2025, right? So I wish the best to you in the 2025 and the new year coming, and just take care, be safe, and enjoy the new year, and really take advantage of helping your team thrive and grow. And let's try to put a lot of energy into a healthy growth of our culture. All right, folks, that's enough for today. Take care, hit like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.